If you're adding protein but your muscles aren't getting bigger, in this video I'm going to help you fix that. A lot of people think the simple solution is to just eat more protein and wait for the muscles to come. But that tends to not be the problem in a lot of cases. I've been training for over a decade and my progress didn't come from chasing protein numbers. For the majority of that time, I've never actually tracked my protein intake. In this video, I'm going to break down why more protein isn't growing your muscles, what is actually even more important than protein, and how you can actually build muscles. A big misconception that more people have is that when you're working out, if you eat more protein, that's going to result in bigger muscles. No, that's actually not the case. More protein, especially when you get that through supplements, because that probably means that you're still eating the same amount. It just means more calories, which means you're going to add on weight, add on fat if you're not balancing your diet and exercising properly. So you have to understand how muscle gain actually works. You've got the tearing muscles part of the equation, and then you've got the recovery part of the equation. So protein helps with the recovery part of the equation, but people miss that the tearing part of the equation is equally as important, and more protein does not help with that. People assume that they're tearing their muscles just because they go to the gym, but that isn't necessarily true. Going on the treadmill doesn't tear your muscles. The simple act of doing a few sets of bench press or bicep curls doesn't mean that you're tearing your muscles. Getting sweaty and feeling a burn and like you've been in the gym for a while, yeah, I've put a good work on, it doesn't mean that you've actually torn your muscles effectively. What I'm about to tell you is the key to my muscle growth, the key to my success here. When muscles recover, right, they come back even stronger and fuller. And to then tear them again to experience more muscle gain requires you to put them under even more stress than you put them under before. And the term for this is called progressive overload. Simply put, a general rule of thumb, which has been my personal rule since day one, is to always aim to be 1% better every day. What I mean is when you go to the gym, you have to aim higher than you were aiming yesterday. You have to go for that one extra rep. You have to increase the weight by a tiny little bit. If you're doing cardio, you have to aim to go that one little bit more intense, or 1 minute longer, 10 seconds longer, whatever it is. The fact is that you're aiming to go a little bit better than you were last time. That's all progressive overload is. Constantly putting your body under more and more stress. That right there covers the tearing part of the equation. That's what people miss. That's what people sleep on. And then once you're tearing your muscles effectively, go ahead and take all the protein you want in the world. Too much protein will still add fat, but the protein that you're taking can then go to good use because your muscles are actually being torn effectively. There's actually something there for all this protein and building blocks to actually go ahead and recover, right? And one tip to actually make sure you're doing that is to just track your workouts. Track the exact exercise you done today, track the reps, track the weight, and make sure that next time you do that exercise, you're doing a little bit better than you did last time. And most importantly, you have to be consistent. You can't just go once a week forever and expect the muscle growth that you crave. And you can't just go for a month or a couple months and expect to come out looking like Hulk Hogan. It doesn't work like that. It may not be what you want to hear, but you have to be consistent and you have to hammer out tearing your muscles over and over and over again. That's the brutal, honest truth to it. You have to be so deeply lost in the process of just going to the gym and doing what you need to do that you honestly don't even, you've forgotten all about the muscle growth. And then you make sure you're consuming enough protein on a daily basis. And it's like magic when you look at a picture of yourself 6 months ago or a year ago and you notice the physique change. That's how you have to actually approach this journey. If this video helped you in any way with your muscle growth journey, hit subscribe because I've got plenty more advice and tips to come your way. Go and become that 1% better today and take care.